I don't know if you can hear me. I am at the Yamnuska Wolfdog Sanctuary, which is right near my house. I've never been here before, but it's a really cool sanctuary where they rescue wolf dogs. This one's a carving behind me, obviously. And yeah, it's a cool place where you can come and learn all about wolf dogs, and they do different kinds of tours, some of which you can, I guess, even meet them. So I'm taking some pictures here. So yeah, like I said in my intro, this is an exploration of a local place. It's about 20 minutes down the road from me. I've never been there before. I've lived here about 20 years and I've never been, I don't think it's been here the whole time. I don't know, but it's kind of shameful that I've never been there. So I had some family in from abroad in the United Kingdom, and I said, do you want to go see some wolves? And so we all jumped at the chance and we all went and check them out. Just to point out, these are not actual wolves like gray wolves. They are what's called wolf dogs. And I didn't even really know this was a thing. I guess breeding wolves for fur was banned, and so they bred wolves with dogs to say they weren't wolves, and then they were able to exploit them for whatever. And now these are animals that don't sort of really live in either world. They're too domestic to really be able to be in the wild as wolves, and they don't behave like normal pets. They have too much wolf in them. The other thing that I found really interesting was that they have different sort of levels. So some of the wolves and the wolves I took pictures of that you are going to see are like basically wolves. They're like 95% wolf, and then they had mid-level, which I think was around a 50 to 70% wolf to dog mix, and then there's even lower. So this is it's not a zoo, it's a sanctuary. Each animal has about an acre of space. They're heavily wooded areas so that if they don't want to interact with people, they can go into the dense foliage and get away. And I guess as a group, they don't like they don't like interactions. They don't like new, I can't remember what the term is. I'll put it up on the screen for animals that don't like new interactions. They run from it, or they it's a survival thing. Anyway, so they don't always like it being looked at by humans, and they're able to go away and look away. Anyways, they have these interactive tours. They have certain tours that they do, which was amazing. And so we were lucky enough to take one of those, and I was able to get a few shots, not as many as I hoped. A lot of them didn't turn out because they were in heavy shadow and it was a bright sunny day and stuff, but I got a few, and I'll share those with you. I also thought I'd share with you some editing things, and just show you how great some of the eraser abilities in Photoshop are. So I'll show you that, and how I sort of term my own phrase. Instead of generative AI, it's reductive AI, because I'm reducing things from my photo, and the AI aspect of it is reductive, not generative, which I think is that fair game. I'll show you the results and how amazing it is, because there was a couple of instances where the wolves were behind fencing, and I was able to just get rid of the fencing. So I'll show you that a bit later. Anyway, enjoy the video. Thank you for returning if you have done so, and if you're new here, welcome. And I'd love to have you with me on this and other vlogs where I check out local stuff. Enjoy. So here's these two, and they were up on this platform, and you can see the one in behind is kind of has almost a slinking look about him, and so I thought that was a cool shot. And slightly different colors on these two. The one behind was more browny, and so it was just a cool shot of these guys as they sculpt around their sort of enclosure areas. Coming up now, when we first entered the sanctuary, um, I don't know what was happening, but there was like a conversation between one set of wolf dogs over here and one set over here, and they were howling at each other. It was so neat. So I got a little quick clip of that, so you can check out. I don't know what was going on, but it was cool to see. That's exactly sort of what you expect out of wolves. And so we did this intro sort of, I don't know, it's like you can enter the place and then there's different levels of experience that you can have at the sanctuary. And so you can do like an introductory thing where you get a bit of a talk by a specialized handler, and you get to go to this area where there's no fencing. There's a glass rail, but then above that, there's nothing. So it's like good for photos and stuff. And then they will interact with the dogs and give them sort of uh, like they do at zoos sometimes, where they improve their living situation by giving them sensory experiences and stuff like that. So they did a feeding, and the two that we got to look at were 95+% wolf. So, but they had been brought in and rescued from a young age, and so they were sort of, I think, some of the most able to not be shy of humans and interact. Um, so they gave them a feeding and stuff like that. Anyway, so here's a picture of this guy close up. What a sweetie! I mean, how could you want to mistreat this guy? And why would you want to adopt something like this and then have to give it away, or even worse, put it down, because of course they don't act like a normal dog. Like something this beautiful, you wouldn't want to ruin by adopting it. So that's a lot of what the sanctuary does, is try and spread the word about the need to and even in the province I live, Alberta, apparently it's legal to breed wolf dogs. So that's kind of terrible. Anyway, so it was great being able to get this close up. Here's this one that I was just showing you as a close up again, in that experience part, and it's just such a beauty. What can you say? But you can see it's a very bright day, and so there was this cast shadow and brilliant highlights. So editing was kind of tricky, but I think I did all right on this one. Okay, well, I pulled up the images of this dog, and I was going to go through with you, like I mentioned earlier, some of the editing steps. I'll just run through it quickly, and how powerful the different programs are between them, both Lightroom and then into Photoshop, for removing items. So this was the picture in question. Obviously, the wolf dog is behind a fence, and I want to remove all this, you know, wiring that you can see in front. So first I'm going to open it. I made the basic edits and all that, and then I'm going to edit it in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, and here it is in Photoshop. And then what I did was I just drew a marquee tool around each one of these. I'll just do it for one row, and then you can kind of see how it handles it. And you don't have to be that. I mean, I'm being quite, I'm doing this in quite a rushed way. You can take your time. It is actually pretty clever, and will sort of see the area that you want. So let's just try it now with this. Obviously, for the final version, I went through the whole thing. And then I have to drag my context menu here, and I just hit remove. Let's see how it handles just one line of it. I did the whole thing, of course, and it worked really well. Yeah, handles it beautifully. I think that's a great result. And then, like I said, obviously I would have gone through and done the whole system, but that, works really well. So I just hit close, and then it'll ask you if you want to save. It hits yes, and then it pumps that back into Lightroom. Anyways, this is on the right, the final version after color grading and all that, and turned out really well. I did some other areas of removal. So and the other thing that you might want to try is, let me go to the another really useful tool is, I'll go to the Develop tab, and under the eraser, it's not going to work well here, but I'm just showing you where it is. And if you go to Reflections and hit Apply, anything that's kind of left over that's a bit hazy from something that you might erase, it should identify that and remove that. So that's a useful one to remember too. Anyways, here's the final result, and I think it worked out pretty well. This guy, I think, was probably a mid or a low. I don't know. Seemed to have more dog about him, but he was slinking around, stalking something, and I managed to get a shot of him with my telephoto. So I thought that was kind of a neat pick. All right, so thank you very much for checking my video out today. Just a short one about this place I went to, and shared some of my shots with you. Thank you for checking them out, and I'd love to hear any comments you have about any of them, or if you want to learn more about the Yamnuska Wolfdog Sanctuary, I'll put the link in the description, and you can check it out. Or they take donations and stuff because they're a charitable organization, and they need help with everything from, like, if they have a drop-off bin for like meat and bones and stuff, so you can help feed their animals and stuff. It's kind of neat. And they have a great gift shop. I thought that was kind of, I'm not being paid by these guys, I promise. I just thought it was a neat place, and I was so surprised. I've never been there before. So if you are in the area, check them out. They have beautiful creatures, and I think they have about 70 animals there. I don't know. And it's not all that. There's an interpretive center and stuff. I think in September they have a photography event that they do, which allows photographers to go and have experiences with the animals that are a bit more close up and a bit more free of fencing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try and get in on that. So look for that later in the year. Anyways, until the next time, thanks for dropping by again, and I would love it if you liked, subscribed, and if you felt like commenting. But I've finally crossed the 30 subscriber threshold. I've got 30 subscribers. Wow. I was happy to see that new person join. So welcome. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Take care.